Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I just read the first wall by Gav Thorpe, and by Nurgle's excrement, it is boring. So there are 3 storylines in the book. One features a bunch of Iron Warriors who are sent on an impossible mission to conquer the spaceport. Another features Keeler and a custodian as they are inspecting the spread of the Imperial cult, while also trying to solve some Nurgle related mystery. And then the final storyline features a bunch of Africans on a train. Now, you might think that I'm joking with the last one, but no, it truly is a story of over 150 pages of random people traveling on a train from Africa to the Imperial Palace. The main character, Zenobi, is an absolutely insufferable goody two-shoes with about as much depth as a pancake, and absolutely nothing interesting happens in the entirety of the story. Well, I guess there's a quote-unquote twist at one point, but that made as much sense as the plot twist from Season 8 Game of Thrones. Seriously, if you do decide to read this book, my advice is to just skip all of the Zenobi segments, as you won't miss out on anything. It has 0 implications for the siege, no references to any of the other stories, and also doesn't reveal any interesting lore or information. That way you can get through this slog of a novel 40% faster. The other 2 stories were better, but not that much. They do have some cool scenes here and there, but for the majority of the book very little happens in both of them. It's only really in the last 100 pages of the book that stuff starts to progress, and even then it's not very noteworthy or interesting. It's a lot of the same people walking around and repeating the same stuff over and over again, with some extremely dull action scenes tossed in between. Another problem I have with the book is that all the characters we see are like cardboard prints out of the original. Sure, they are described in a similar way, and on a superficial level they are more or less the character as we know them, but all the depth and livelihood has been stripped away from them. To give an example, Khorne is Khorne, because he grunts at the start of every sentence. You know, because butcher's nails. Or Sigismund, who is Sigismund because he is ashamed of failing Dorn, and he kisses his blade a lot. Compared to this, I'd rather have the comedic caricatures that we saw in The Lost and the Damned. They sucked, but at least they were entertaining. Additionally, this book doesn't cover any other part of the siege. There are no angels, no Icegars, no Dead Guard, no Primarchs, and so on and so forth. Technically there are World Eaters, I guess, because Khorne stops by to grunt near the end, but for the rest it's only really Iron Warriors and Imperial Fists. Perturabo and Dorn are there, I guess, but they only have a handful of lines and don't really play a big part in the story. By the way, you see how Perturabo is fighting an Imperial Fist on the cover? Yet that doesn't happen. Perturabo doesn't lift a finger at any point in the novel, so that's a bit misleading as well. Regardless, to end on a positive, I did actually like the portrayal of Foryx a bit. Foryx in this book is a bit similar to Perturabo before the heresy. He feels underappreciated, dislikes his father, and has stopped caring about the entire mission a long while ago. The only reason why Foryx is still here is because his bitter ass doesn't want to lose the siege. He has some really nice gallow humor going on, and while most of the characters feel very emotionally lacking in this novel, it actually feels very much in character for Foryx. So all in all, I'm giving this one 2 out of 5 mind-blowing plot twists. The first wall is an apt name for it, as it has been a while since I've struggled so much to get through a novel. It's a boring slog where very little happens, which has been further diluted by a filler plotline about a random bunch of Africans on a train. Wouldn't recommend it, and for those who want to skip it, I will provide a list of the relevant events in the description below. Anyway, that was all I got for you today.
If you liked this video, please consider subscribing and click ringing the bell to appease the Great Horned Rat. For more lore content, please check my main channel and leave any book recommendations in the comments down below. I gotta get back to reading the next book.